database data all down here. Today I'm going to be I'm going to be continuing our movie discussion marathon. I've gotten so busy this month, it's really hard to do. So apologies on that. So Pitt, you want to say what we're discussing today?
Today we're going to be discussing this movie called The Good Son. Even though he ain't really that good.
Ain't that the daggum truth? Alright. Alright, so you might ask, what is The Good Son? Alright, so it's a 1993 thriller/drama that stars Macaulay Culkin and a pre-Lord of the Rings Elijah Wood. Yes, Frodo is in this movie. So, alright, so what's the story? Alright, so what's the story?
Story
Is this boy named Mark, played by Elijah Wood, whose mother recently died, and his father is leaving for a business trip. Yeah, typical. So basically, takes him to spend that time while he's gone with his aunt, with his aunt and uncle and cousins, and which are Connie and Henry. Connie is literally played by, I think she's played by Macaulay Culkin's little sister, actual real life little sister, which I think is. All right, so let's just make sure. Yeah. Quinn Culkin plays Connie Evans. So, and Henry is played by, do I even say Macaulay Culkin? Now, this is the only rated R movie that Macaulay Culkin was ever in as a kid, at least as far to my knowledge. I doubt there's any more. But so either way, but as he's like spending time with his cousins, especially Henry, he basically notices that he has some tendencies that are literally twisted, like he basically has a fascination with like death, and he's also one of those twisted kids that hurts animals, because in fact he makes this big crossbow contraption, and like and eventually kills a dog, which mean dog, and he's like, oh, I was only trying to scare him. It's just an excuse. But when you clearly know what this guy is. But the one thing they definitely did different here is that the rest of his family is not like this. Heck, they're completely oblivious to their own son's tendencies.
Those kinds of people do tend to be pretty good at hiding the tendencies.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Which, now let's talk about the performances for a sec. Around this time, Macaulay Culkin's performances just kind of went to, I don't give a crap, I'm not even gonna try, and are kind of deadpan. But here the deadpan works, because a lot of psychopaths cannot really feel emotion. They show no emotion. So if anything, so pretty much the most of the movie is, like, at least in the first parts of it, it's basically Culkin and Wood basically doing all this sort of like just basically just evil mischief, like from throwing this like homemade like like basically like a homemade sort of scarecrow sort of thing called Mr. Highway, and just throws them down onto the highway like somebody just jumped down, and then basically crashes a bunch of cars. And while Wood is obviously, horrified by this, Culkin's character, all he does is smile.
Oh yeah, I remember that whole scene. Mr. Highway.
Yeah, yeah. Then, but there's this whole side thing that like the mother has not gotten over the really youngest son who died in the bathtub. I'm not gonna spoil it, but let's just say it's, if you're listening right now, it's probably gonna come freaking obvious, but I'm not gonna spoil it. And so it just pretty much shows more and more just how evil this kid is, and and it pretty much ends up with kind of a showdown at the end, which I'm not gonna I'm not gonna spoil I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but let me just tell you, it's not what I was expecting at all.
I can agree with that. I was expecting something way crazier.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, and then there's like this whole scene, which this scene actually has some holes in it later down. Basically, basically, Colgan tries to drown his little sister on thin ice by falling through the ice, but but yet it breaks when, let's see, it breaks when Wood tries and others try to go save her, but Wood tries to go save her, but for some reason, the people who are coming to rescue her can walk on that thin ice just fine and not have it break under them. Yeah, it's a little hole right there, but whatever. I hear this movie kind of got panned when it came out, but did it deserve all the hate? Well, yeah, I actually, I wouldn't think so. I don't really think so at all. In fact, in fact, this, in fact, I actually recommend this movie. Like, if you want to see is see Macaulay Culkin in a movie that's not for kids, this might be it for you. Now the question still remains: Did this did this movie deserve the R rating? And that one's a little hard. And that one's a little hard to say because for one, there's hardly any profanity. They only swear basic like like a few like very few times, and surprised Macaulay Culkin drops the F bomb once, which is shocking, but either way, but at the same time it isn't. But other than that, I could see some of the subject matter, like, I'm honestly not sure. That's kind of a mixed bag. It's just kind of like, I really don't know. In some areas it deserves it, in others it doesn't. So that's kind of a gray area, whether or not it deserves its R rating. But would I show this this film to kids? Probably not, but I would say it is definitely a worth watching at least once in your life. Now let's get into the other logistics. Is that even the term logistics? Now the performances, they're okay. Everything is passable from that standpoint. And so, all right, Pitt, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
No, not really. The movie was just about a psychopath kid. Not much I can really say about it.
Yeah, the problem is like really while this one is also a little harder, also kind of hard to talk about. It's just that, like everything passes by so quickly because again, it's only like an 86-minute film and there's not really, like much to go off of once, go off of. Now, so yeah, I mean, did this film deserve all its hate? Well, well, take a watch and judge for yourself. Self. And this concludes the discussion on this film. Now, this one's shorter than the others, but there really isn't that much to talk about. But either way, tune in next time when we finally finish up this thing with Good Boys.
Goodbye, everyone.